shit, man. So they trying to kill us any damn way and shit. So I had to get that shit in my mind, in my head.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's coming eventually.
Yeah.
So I gotta prepare for it and shit.
Straight up.
Yeah. Plus, I always knew and shit that the whole overall picture was to get us the fuck out the way. Like I said, they want Africa, but they don't want the Africans.
But they don't want to do. But they don't want to do the work.
We're Africa and African. What the hell haven't they been lazy?
So whatever the goal is, they gonna use us, I reckon, to get to the goal, and then once the goal over, they might just go ahead and exterminate all niggas then after that, whatever they looking for.
Yeah, they use they lower. We always talk about the hood, black people, the poor. They don't want you to know that they fucked up. They trailer park up like a motherfucker. They got down. They shit is not together like they trying to paint this picture, and they excite their own hood to be racist against black people. They making these white folks don't know that they being tricked, hoodwinked, and bamboozled.
They've been lied to also.
Yeah, these motherfuckers. You talking the same shit a rich white
man talking. That's why they don't believe shit. They don't believe black people victims and shit. They don't believe shit.
They don't believe it. And they struggling. They got
white privilege is something else.
Yeah.
They struggling. They white stuff. The white privilege got them. They struggling and everything else. And they don't. They really think they are above any black person that walks this earth. That's the craziest.
They're not good at taking care of themselves.
It's crazy.
So how the hell are you gonna take care of my black ass?
Yeah, I mean, so they don't want us to get together long enough to be able to say, you know what? When they start this buffoonery that they doing, when they get in touch with their Neanderthal ways, we need to be human like we are.
It don't take long for them to get in touch with the ways.
We need to stop acting like we got Neanderthal genes in us. Why the fuck do we fall for the Neanderthal way of doing things?
Because a lot of us want to be like them.
Damn. How
do you win a war?
You can't beat them. You can't beat them and join them. You can't beat them. You join them.
Divide and conquer.
I know a couple of brothers that have jumped over the fence and ain't thought about looking back at a nigga.
Yeah, but that's just that's a sprinkle.
But a lot of people force to.
We have.
This nigga wake up call is coming.
Yeah, and see right now it's the floodgates. We waking it up. So the thing we doing now is trying to. I want to prepare the ones who thought they were doing it or is doing it. You know, the big church, the mega people. I want them to be prepared for this wave of intelligent black men that's waking it up. They're not ready for us. They're not ready to answer our questions.
Man.
They're ready to grab their panties and get mad and want to try to tell us to go read and all this other shit. But we try to say, hey, man, let's do it all together. Why we have to argue and fuss and fight who's the better leader or not? You know, we need to heal together.
I think they need to get ready for this next wave of violence that's about to come.
If we don't got the land.
Yeah, the next big wave. Yeah, the next big wave that's coming. I'm talking about presidential. I'm talking about election time. That is gonna be some different shit.
The waves already hit.
Yeah, that was a test one.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the big dog that's coming behind Trump. Like when these folks try to play dirty to make sure he get back in office, this shit gonna come with some shit that people ain't gonna be ready for.
But listen, this how they play us though. The motherfucker whose strings are getting pulled right now is Joe Biden goddamn strings. He ain't saying shit. He ain't doing shit. He got in there. He confused all our goddamn.
Man, that motherfucker can't even stay on a damn bike.
Look, he should be already. He should already be questioned because if you can't ride a fucking bicycle,
He rolled the motherfucker and then stopped and then fell.
Forgot he was on it.
You supposed to fall and shit. That, you know what I mean? When you riding the motherfucker, if you gonna fall.
Look, that's what you do.
You don't fall when you
do
stop.
when you forget that you ride the bicycle.
Man.
That's what happens when you forget you ride the bicycle. You stop and you don't put your feet down.
That's when your motherfucking bicycle too goddamn tall, little legs ass nigga. Little legs ass nigga. Hey, so I'm finna push forward.
Look, look, he wasn't even hit the ground. I would at least stay on there long enough to get some sympathy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You president.
I stayed on that long enough to get somebody to feel sorry for him.
And Trump was right on that shit. He like, like he's so calm and cool about it. Did y'all see what the fuck he said? He's like, give it up for your president, Joe Biden.
Nah.
He fell off a bicycle today.
Damn.
Hey.
Now, God bless our president, Joe Biden. And everything, you know, we shouldn't be making fun of him falling off the bicycle today. But
next they gonna outlaw that.
He fell off the bicycle today.
It's soft ass. It's soft ass.
Nobody falling off a bicycle.
I was done.
These folks soft.
Yeah, your president fell off a bicycle today.
So yo, check this out, man. I'm gonna push forward, man, so we don't drift too far. The MOVE organization. Y'all heard of that?
The what?
The MOVE organization.
Move.
I'm from Philly. Of course I heard. Shit.
I don't think I have.
Let me highlight something on these people.
One of the biggest bombings in United States history.
Would you say that? What was that again?
One of the biggest bombings in the United States history.
By who?
By a black mayor. I'm probably showing some white people behind it, but
I'm gonna break this shit down.
Black mayor.
Now check
Mayor
this
Wilson
out.
Good. We did that shit.
The MOVE organization?
Yeah, MOVE, all capital letters. And the words don't stand for anything in particular. It's just all caps, MOVE. So this is
the whole neighborhood.
This is what I see. The police bombing of 6221 Osage Avenue in Philly caused a level of trauma that is difficult to exaggerate. On May 13, 1985, while many of the city's residents were still basking in the glow of the previous afternoon's Mother's Day gatherings, this is the day after Mother's Day now, hundreds of heavily armed police officers surrounded a row house in a black neighborhood in West Philly. After firing thousands of rounds of ammunition and canisters of noxious tear gas into the home, they flew a helicopter over the roof and dropped a package of military-grade explosives. What followed was unimaginable.
C4.
I don't know if it was C4 because you have to remotely detonate C4.
Okay.
It might have been something else with a timer on it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Get them time to get the fuck and everything like that. But I think like with C4, you have to physically plant because it's more like a.
That shit dropped, and the whole neighborhood went up. That's all I know. That shit was like a mini ass nuclear bomb.
Hey, that's the government now. You know, for those out there that
and that was the local government.
Trust and believe in these systems established, these motherfuckers will go to an extreme if you become a threat to exposure that could delete power. To go on, man, this event, which Philadelphia's mayor later said began with intentions of serving warrants to the residents, members of a large black group called MOVE left around 2 blocks of a formerly vibrant neighborhood in ashes and more than 60 mostly working and middle-class families homeless.
Yep.
That would have been bad enough, but What made this a trauma from which the city could not heal was that the bodies of the 6 black men and women of five. Okay, hold on. The bodies of 6 black men and women and 5 black children lay under the smoldering embers of the row house. 11 human beings, when police had known, were inside when they had dropped incendiary devices. Now, let me break down what incendiary is to you guys, man. Incendiary means fire. So, what they dropped in the house completely scorched when it ignited the entire inside of the house. No one was held.
Like a 6 block radius, man.
And on top of that, now this is the works at the time. Okay, from what I understand, when the feds is involved on some shit, they come up with the plan, but they never do the action. They always put it on the local police departments in the areas to do the work, right? And with them sending thousands of bullets through this crib and canisters of tear gas and shit like that, man, in the end result, no one was held accountable for these deaths.
Nope.
And it get worse than that. I'm gonna piss y'all off, but man. So.
And these are things, you know, they don't. These are things that they strategically hide in your face. They hide it in your face. How is this not something talked about? Maybe it is, but then how is it not passed down as strongly as it should be? You know, because I've only heard of it this year. You know,
it's talked down. It's just watered down more so likely now and shit because you got a different generation of people. But Philly ain't forgot about it.
Right.
Especially West Philly.
It goes to our saying, you know, divide and conquer. What Philly know, what Texas don't know about Philly, then Philly don't, you know what I'm saying? It works at a grand scale too, you know.
I look at it as a whole. Yeah, you had to move in Philly. You got Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. You got the Slocum massacre. Rosewood. I mean, it's always hunting season for us. It don't matter what city the fuck we in.
I got a question too now then. It's like we discovering all this. This is like waking the majority of us up, or the ones who do read. The knowledge, they want to soak the knowledge in. How do we keep the balance of soaking in knowledge, knowing the history, and then also putting in action or work to change a situation? Because it seems like a lot of us get caught up in. We learn about the history. We real fluent at explaining what happened, but we don't have no kind of
counter for the next time a situation like that come around.
Nothing to say, well, how can this not happen again, or what do we have in place that can prevent this type of stuff from happening?
How do you chop down a forest?
Yeah. So how do
answer
we
that?
How do we get enough people engaged to?
I'm trying to help you. How do you chop down a forest?
Yeah, well, help me out, man.
One tree at a time. You chop down a forest one tree at a time, right? So the first tree you're gonna have to chop down is people having the unction, the balls, to put one foot in front of the other one. The next is to step forward, and lastly is to continue the repetition once you get rolling. We got to get past the first part, and that's the unction.
That's what we've been saying. Yeah.
To want to get up. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a want, and this is what we're trying to increase. And I want to educate y'all, man, because you probably look at some of us that's out here, like you say, Q, like Farrakhan screaming at the top of his lungs. You probably look at some of us out here like we done lost our damn mind because you have no connection to reality. You just have a connection to what's going on in your world, and that's what you feel is real, and that's where you based it. But really, there's other shit going on out here. And if some of us that look like us took time to look back at some of the things that we have had to go through just to get to this point, you would probably look crazy like some of us that has been chosen by the universe already to be the voice, the horn, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? The warnings, the prophets. You know what I'm saying? The people that's been tapped on the shoulder. A lot of us don't know why we out here doing this.
You're right. Well,
I think I got an idea, though.
Yeah.
I got an idea is to reclaim our throne.
It's time.
Speak up.
That's why you gotta wake up, man. People think you like sleep, like you sleep because you blinded to the system. You're afraid to think for yourself. This is a point right here where right now it's 3 men with a sledgehammer and a pick that's trying to break some rusted chains off of people's minds so that you can be free for yourself to think, to move how you want to be, to navigate how you want to navigate while you're on this earth. You don't have to assembly line your life like you're doing. Invisible chains. And then as soon as we get some money, we go buy some real chains and put them right back around our neck and wrist. You know what I'm saying? But that is what it is. So, with that shit, it says the news outlets revealed that human remains from the event had been kept at the Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology.
Right there in University City.
This at the University of Pennsylvania.
University City.
Huh?
U City. We call it U City in Philly.
Yeah.
Fucking kids.
So these folks that savaged through the ashes and
that's where they be having cont'd at.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was born in University of Pennsylvania.
Bruh. So they didn't took the time to go through the rubble to salvage human remain parts to take back to study, so to speak, and put on display in a museum at the University of Pennsylvania, and even used as a case study for an online class at Princeton University. The outpouring of disbelief.
Came out a couple years, last year, I want to say. It was either last year.
Yeah, this recent. Because it's been covered up that long, since the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the outpouring of disbelief and outrage from across the country was immediate and fierce once they found out this shit. Like, indeed, the idea that the museum was even holding the bones of a black Philadelphian who was alive as recently as 1985 in the same way that it was has held skulls of enslaved people procured by grave robbers was beyond comprehension to these people. So like, bruh, Philadelphia I didn't even know this. I'm still trying to understand the name, the city of brotherly love, with all that mass murder y'all got popping up there.
People came up with that shit.
But these people have a history of displaying skulls of enslaved people that certain grave robbers have discovered as treasure and probably went and raffled off to these universities.
Y'all ever see National Treasure?
Yeah.
With Tom Hanks and everything?
Not Tom Hanks, goddamn
the very buildings
Nicolas
that
Cage.
we just talked about, everything, they're in that movie.
Those skulls.
It's called National Treasure.
Those skulls.
That's fucking crazy,
Man, they go all through the buildings and shit.
Yeah.
The buildings and shit. Where they, dog, they have King Tut on tour. He goes there. The same place he got them bones and shit at. He goes there. He goes there, you know what I mean? Like, you have the Franklin Institute in Philly. The Franklin Institute for Science. We used to go there as a kid and shit. They got the big ass heart in that motherfucker. You go through there, run through there and shit. That's everybody's favorite part.
Yeah.
They got a big ass old railroad train and shit. They got space shuttle up that motherfucker. Like, they got everything. My daughter did internships and stuff there in high school, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. That's all university. Like that's all university city.
The angry black man let that shit soak in. He look like he over there boiling.
Hey, look, I'm telling you what I personally know about my city. And the only reason why I'm not a Philly, like I'm an Eagles fan. Flyers not really so much, but if I'm a support a hockey team, they gonna be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sixers definitely. Back up. You know what I mean? So I'm not a Phillies fan.
Mm.
And the only reason why I stopped being a Phillies fan is I saw the movie 42.
And how they treated Jackie?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I knew my city was racist, but I ain't know them motherfuckers was doing all that shit. Like, that was before the move and all that shit. That was before all that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was way back in the gap.
But they always considered the mayor before Wilson Good, Frank Rizzo and shit, Italian dude.
Man, what's pissing me off is like
he raised as fuck, but he ain't do that shit though. He ain't do that move shit though.
What's scary in my mind right now is that how we're fooled to think that this stuff happened thousands of years ago, where this shit is just right around the corner. It's just, that ain't too long ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what is fucking my head up right now. That the ones who are asleep, they really think it can't happen to us. They don't realize how recent this type of shit is, and that's what I'm like. As we educate and get educated, we still have to like take a pause and get all these people to understand it, man. We gotta unite on some shit that's just like, I think churches need to change, man. It really need to be a history lesson, period. Fuck off.
Churches are getting dealt with right now, especially black churches.
No, they get dealt with, man. And they don't know what to do.
White churches are getting dealt with too, though.
Yeah, they've been exposed. They've been exposed, bro.
Yeah. And we every man who is just like, who is awakening up, we need to just stop thinking that they do not have. Every one of us have a piece of the puzzle, and we all need to be heard. We all need to be heard by other black kings and really put those puzzles and pieces together, man, because shit like this is like, people who hear it, if you're not connected, you won't feel it.
At all.
So a story just like this in itself should move. That's just crazy, bro. So I don't know, man. I just hope what we doing is like, I know what we doing is not the first time. It ain't nothing that ain't been done before. But on this go round, man, is us being charged up as we gonna be on these next podcasts and shit. Yeah. That motherfuckers know that we not playing.
For sure.
Hey, look, man. It starts with us three. We the tripod.
Yo, y'all got a mayor named. Y'all had a mayor named Jim Kennedy, Kenny.
What state?
Philly. Jim Kennedy.
Oh, yeah. He's the mayor now, I think.
Jim Kennedy released the additionally distressing piece of news that the city had other remains from the moved building. At first, he reported that the city's health commissioner had the remains cremated and disposed of without attempting to reach the family members. He then explained that after his first announcement, the remains had actually been found in the basement of the medical examiner's office.
Oh, so it was found.
Damn.
Man, that was placed. That was placed.
I can't picture them releasing it, but, hey, look, man, we dealing with the devil.
Yeah.
You gonna deal with some satanic shit, man.
On a large scale.
Nothing these motherfuckers do surprise me at all. At all. At all. And you know, since we talking about my city, it's still corrupt. No, my city got a lot of shit with it.
Oh, really?
Ain't shit.
And I mean, it's...
The DA, I want to say, not the one we have now, but the one before that, I think he got corruption charges and everything. They had to overturn, I think, like over 1,000 cases, some shit like that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It happened recently.
Yo, they say like your man's like, did y'all have a police officer, some shit like that that's been around so long that he used to motherfucking rape motherfuckers on the side of the road and shit, like boys and girls?
Yeah, shit. They had a former police officer and shit. This motherfucker got caught stealing houses.
Yeah.
They were stealing houses. Ask about stealing houses in Philadelphia.
That nigga would put handcuffs on you, bro, and then fuck you up your ass, bro, if you don't want to go to jail.
Some motherfuckers went down, man. Like, it was a whole lot of shit. I went through a whole lot of court shit in Philly, but mine was domestic. Because I always had custody of my kids and shit, but Philly, it all depends on who you know.
Yeah. Well, that's universal.
But
that's universal. I swear to God, bro, everywhere I go, they always say is who you know, not what you know.
Yo, I got a child support order right now for my first 3 kids. They 20, 22, and 23. Like, it's still an order out there because I never got paid for them and shit, but it never was an order and shit because some shit happened in Philly. My baby mama happened to know the right people. Yeah. Same people that got caught and stealing them houses.
Yeah.
All tied the fuck in. You know, but they act like they put a bill, put an order in and shit, but they really didn't. I guarantee you, if you investigate the domestic relations office in Philly, the domestic relations and child support and everything, they the same building and shit over there.
That'll keep you busy.
That man said that'll keep you busy for the rest of your life.
I guarantee you're gonna find a lot of shit in there.
Bruh, we all been in that system. I've been in that system. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about that shit, man. That shit changed my whole walk of life, bro. Child support was like birth control for me. I swear.
I was paying $1,000 a month, but the thing is, I had my kids.
Damn it, boy.
I had my kids and shit, but it takes so long to get to court and shit, so I still had to pay. And then, like I said, she knew people.
Man.
If they do an investigation on that shit, it'll be world fucking news.
It's about to be that now with them taking that Roe versus Wade and flipping it. Like, motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to just, you know.
Hot girl summer over.
Yo.
Hot girl summer over.
Yo.
These motherfuckers really dying off, man.
It says, the story y'all were told was the remains at the museum was this in 1985, that the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office asked an anthropologist named Alan Mann, then at the University of Pennsylvania, to identify the remains of the bodies found in the debris of the Move house. Mann attempted to do that, but was unable to positively identify one of the sets of bones. This gonna fuck y'all up. He kept those remains for continued study and stored them at the Penn Museum. And at some point, a woman, I ain't gonna say her name, I can't really read it. She was also an anthropologist and curator. Her first name was Janet, last name started with M, Monge, Mange, something like that. Curator. She was a curator and an anthropologist at the museum who, as a graduate student, had assisted Mann in his original investigation. He that used the remains to teach online courses at Princeton. That course, which was recently taken down was previously open to the public, and anyone could see the remains being handled. They say they kept them to restore the individual's personhood. Hold on. They kept them to restore the individual's personhood to help solve this painful case in the city's history and bring resolution to the community. I call bullshit. Nigga, you can't say you kept those bones to try to solve a painful history in the city when you know the answer to it already. Like, they were very verbal Rastafarian type people that spoke out about the unfairness and insecurities of what's going on with the black race in that city. And for that, they put the police on their ass to try to shut them up.
Like I said before, Operation Black Messiah.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's real. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Love it right now.
I wouldn't be surprised we wouldn't get visited by that shit in the future. Straight up. Check this out.
Sorry, motherfucker.
The remains that man claimed had never been satisfactorily identified had in fact been found to be the bones of a teenage girl who, along with her sister, died that day. As of last year, hold on, man. As of last year, the mother believed that both girls had been buried in 85. They didn't identify the bones because they knew that they were the bones of children. And if they would have identified that shit, that's like would have caused mass hysteria. An uprising.
Yep.
You
I
teaching,
told you, man, my city got some motherfucking crazy ass secrets, man.
I can see right through that shit. I can see right through that, but then legally they'll cloud that up and make you go through all these loops and hoops instead of just like dealing with the fact that y'all fucked up. Y'all tried to cover it up because y'all were playing with the bones of children, educating people off of children, black children.
It's crazy, man. That's straight up crazy, bro.
When you should have put it in the ground with the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, like I say, that's one history point I goddamn. I knew it, but I didn't know the full story on it. And that's,
Like I said, cut the motherfucking check.
It can't goddamn be.
Cut the motherfucking check. That's all you can do at this point.
Yeah, it can't be goddamn.
And as long as they refuse to do that, they going to keep banging up on the fuck off.
Yep, it's the same old story, bro. Same old story. We motherfuckers ain't gonna never learn nothing different, man.
Now,
So what we gonna do different?
Bruh, the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
this shit been happening, man. Y'all heard about the alligator farms?
Yes.
You in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
That
it.
shit was real
Yes.
shit, man.
Using our babies for alligator bait.
They would tie black babies up, toddlers.
Use it for bait.
Put them up in motherfucking sheet, white sheets and shit. Yes, in the water for alligator bait. Just with some fucking shoes and belts and luggage and shit.
Hey, they down here eating that alligator too, man.
Huh?
They down here eating that alligator too, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. I had gator sausage before.
Yo,
This shit big.
I done ate the fuck out of some gator tail. That shit fire. That shit fire.
But I can only get it in. Well, the only time I've had it is when I was in New Orleans. I went to New Orleans twice, but I've been to Louisiana 3 times. You know, I had to go to Lafayette.
You can get that on any corner in Louisiana. You can get some gator on any corner in Louisiana. Especially some crawfish.
The first time I went, the motherfuckers ran out. Like 2 stores ran out, but 1 store had it. And I fucked that shit up. Now, the second time I went to Pennsylvania, yeah, they had it.
Hell yeah. Hey, Q.
Yo.
I'm gonna scramble your brain some more, man. So, Now we're gonna get into the creation of Move, right? So it say they were formed in the early '70s. Since they were formed, they had been under constant surveillance by the law enforcement. They were a multiracial collective of people who took the surname of Africa. So like all of them had a first name, but their last name was Africa.
Yeah, Mother Africa. She I forgot her real name. And Mami Abu Jamal and shit, you know what I mean, who's locked up to this day and shit.
Yeah.
And they got evidence that proved that he didn't kill the cop and shit. But they still got him locked up and shit. He beat the death penalty, I want to say about 3 times.
Yeah, we coming to that one. I got that in here in these notes. So it said Move members, huh?
That's still up there.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah, in Philly.
Yeah. It happened in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him and shit.
So
he been locked up to this day.
Once you became a member of Move and your surname became Africa, they embraced each one of themselves as family for real. Move members lived a back to nature type of lifestyle and grew increasingly outspoken against what they called the system and its intense racism, police brutality, mistreatments of animals, pollution of nature, and much more. It says in the late 70s, Philly Mayor Frank Rizzo, who had previously served as a police commissioner and didn't shy away from courting racist constituents, became determined to arrest Move members. So he done turned into the J. Edgar Hoover of Philadelphia. He wanted to arrest all of them once he got wind of them and evict them from their house, which at the time was in West Philly neighborhood of Powelton Village. Between 1976 and 78, clashes between the police and Move at that house reached a crisis point. That dramatic period saw the death of a Move baby, which some members of the group said because the police attacked the mother for a month long. They had a blockade down of the Move house and a shootout between police and Move at the house, which ended in the death of a police officer. Police blamed Move. Move blamed the police. I will say this. I blame the motherfucking police because y'all the ones that took y'all motherfucking ass over there based off of Rizzo wanting to motherfucking arrest them just because they was outspoken about what's going down.
Okay, this the shit right here, man.
But Rizzo wasn't mayor when that shit happened.
Yeah, but check the
Wilson
fucking,
Good was mayor.
the fucking common.
He was a police commissioner.
Wilson Good was.
He was the commissioner, the police commissioner.
I know he got blamed for that shit.
Yeah, but the goddamn common denominator, man, the fucking police, man.
Yeah, too damn nosy.
Slave patrol. Call them for what the fuck they are. The slave patrol.
Slave catchers.
They
Slave
what
catchers.
the fuck the slave patrol do.
That we talking about. Fucking common denominator is the fucking police, man.
Yeah.
So this is what we got. I mean, we got to figure out, you know. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, we ain't saying nothing or doing nothing no different than what we read, man. The common denominator is the fucking, like you say, slave patrol, bro. So.
And they doing what the fuck they were designed to do.
Yeah.
Better than ever.
Yeah, all the other shit, you know. But the common denominator of losing black people is the fucking slave patrol, man.
Yeah.
So.
Motherfucker said, on the day of the shooting in 78, a Move member named Delbert Africa was beaten severely by the police. Soon after that, the house was leveled by cranes. These events culminated in 9 Move members being sentenced to 100-year sentences in prison for among other charges, the death of the police officer and in the acquittal of 3 officers who were charged with the beating of Delbert. They didn't acquitted the police officers that beat this man. But they didn't charge this man with 100+ years of life, these 9 different people. And you just told me that this man done beat death row like 3 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, over time. So why not release him back to the streets?
Well, see, what they're not saying is he used to be on a radio station. It's a radio station in Philly, WDAS, Slow Jam Station.
See, this good shit. Bring it on.
It was matter of fact, it was Philly's first black station. I think Power 99 was number 2, and then everybody else came and shit. But we had WDAS, and we had Power 99, and we had the Jazz Channel and shit. But he was on there. He was a radio personality and shit, and he was already on that shit way back then. Like he's written children's books while he's been in prison out of pencil. They ain't get this nigga no computer or nothing like that. They ain't give him nothing. You know what I mean? And I really don't want to call him a nigga because I don't, you know what I mean? But that's how they see us, so that's why I say it.
So basically, this cat and mouse shit basically is just the bully picking on the weaker vessel, and then the weaker vessel responding back to the bully. And,
he's a victim of Operation Black Messiah.
And yeah, the bully don't want to be recognized as you need to take your motherfucking ass where the fuck you came from and go somewhere. You started this shit.
I used to be in fucking race wars. Nigga, shit. When I moved to Earth Street, South Philly, 1987. Dog, we was mixed with the white people and everything and shit. Like, we moved them the fuck out.
Yeah.
We moved them out.
That same shit be going down here in Texas. It's like they get starting that shit, we push your ass out that motherfucker there. Money ain't always, they think like down, you know, Texas, they thought they talking shit, but money long down here.
Yeah.
We ain't worried about a motherfucker. We know how to make our money, man. So, and that's what, shit, you can't tell me what I can't drive, when I drive, where we go, how we move, what we do. So, it's like, how do we get everybody's on that page, you know, right now, but, you know, the common denominator is always in our face, and we scared to goddamn really face the music. Because everybody knows once you goddamn look at that goddamn common denominator, ain't nothing else left but to go at it. Because they're not going to change their mind. They got the power to do what they want to do because we the people gave them the power. We the people giving them the power right now. We the people won't come together. We the people won't do shit. We the people giving these motherfuckers the power to do what they do. And we too scared to look our own self in a fucking mirror in the face and say, we are the weaklings. We are the ones not doing. You $200,000, $60,000, $80,000 year niggas, we are the problem. We are paying them to treat us the way that they treat us. Once we got to sleep
we do finance our own murders.
We financing all this shit.
We finance our own murders, definitely.
We're financing our own death. And if you like that idea, take your ass to sleep, black man. But put a sign on your door. Put something to let us know that you stand by the cool, the buffoonery. You know, do something. Maybe we need to just let us know that you already know, because this shit is out of hand. We need to come together. Everybody need to admit the fears that we feel, but just remember, you paying for your own death. Think about that shit, black man. Not the niggas in the hood that's struggling, can't make it, they trying to find a way. I'm talking about you paid, job having, going to work, 9 to 5 motherfuckers who get a paycheck, got AC on, you got food in the fucking refrigerator, you paying for your children's death. Let's put it that way. Fuck y'all and good night.
Damn.
people.
Damn.
Motherfuckers who going to bed, getting up in the morning to go look them people in the face. Just remember, when you get that paycheck, you paying for your child's debt, and you don't give a fuck because it ain't happening to you. Good
I'm
night.
losing friends. I'm losing friends as we speak behind that rudder.
Damn.
That kind of talk, I'm losing friends over right now.
I'm telling you.
I'm tired of bitch ass niggas, man.
Man, and it's true.
I'm tired of them, man.
Yeah, and we gotta call it what we see, cause
and they the one, and they the main problems, dog. I ain't even gonna say the white people is the problem. I'm gonna say them niggas is the problem and shit.
Yeah,
You gotta get them out the way.
That's why they gotta call it out now. And it's like,
so they know.
Until that thing is, until they hear it enough time, they don't even realize they're a bitch ass nigga yet. They gotta hear this about 4 or 5 times and then go talk to other real. They gotta go talk to some real motherfuckers to figure out that they the bitch ass nigga. So we got some healing to do.
Do they ever figure it out? Do they ever figure it out?
We got niggas shaking their head and in agreement with us right now and don't even know that we the ones that they talking about.
And then about time they figure it out,
take a while. Right.
We on a different level. We far gone and somewhere else.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to get through with it. It's gonna take a while. Then they gonna get their feelings hurt when they find out what we're talking about.
When he said that shit. Like, that's what he meant when he said that shit.
It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while.
Damn. No wonder he don't fuck with you no more.
Yeah. I hope.
While, so.
Well, I always feel like when I was coming up, man, when you was a kid and you was out of pocket, you had to fight. And when you became a teenager and you got out of pocket, you got jumped. And when you got grown and you got out of pocket, you got shot. So I always had it in my mind, the behavior and the way that I needed to carry myself to prevent those certain instances from happening, right? I believe certain people know how they carry themselves, and I believe certain people know they flaw as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I also believe that they don't know how not to be because that's what they have grown up to see.
That's what we've been trained, man. We all fall victim to it. We all done fell victim to it. And that's the thing about it. I ain't talking because I think I'm special. I know I've been a victim. I'm just not waking the fuck up.
That's how niggas get big homies.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, look.
We start killing our children. They whacking us off in your face, man. So,
man, it's popular. It's popular.
Yeah, and then we can't leave. Like I say, man, I'm really thinking. I want to that Philadelphia shit is soaking in my brain hard, and that's the thing about it. Now, I got a newfound respect for Philadelphia. You see what I'm saying? It's like there's certain shit that we don't know about areas and places and people and things. So I got a marriage tonight, and I'm still calling out.
This is why we're here today, sir. This is why we're here today. This is why I'm here. All right. Let me rephrase that. This is why I'm here with y'all.
Yeah.
That's my city. That's where the fuck I came from.
Yeah.
My pop told me stories about the Rizzo cops and all that other shit. How you just slap them up and everything.
Exactly, man.
I mean, shit.
So,
but this is shit they've been doing to us.
Yeah. Yo, peace to the founder, John Africa, man. Peace to the founder, man. Man, I got great notes, man. In '83, a group of MOVE members, including the founder, John Africa, had relocated to the new house on Osage Avenue in Cobb Creek, in the Cobb Creek area of West Philly. Yeah. The longer they lived there, the more determined they became to force the city and its newly black mayor, Wilson Good, to revisit the sentences of the Move 9. By Christmas Eve of '83, the residents of 6221 Osage Avenue were blasting their demands for justice, and the increasingly vitriolic and profanity laced critiques of city officials and the system. So not only was they on the bullhorn going there, but they was calling out names and roasting the fucking officials, making fun of them and shit from the loudspeakers day and night. As dismay about the situation mounted among Move's members, they began pressuring the city to do something. So they, just like I was able to see through the smoke screen and you gentlemen too, and we broke that shit down like, okay, the police need to mind their motherfucking business because y'all saw something going on which was light. And your whole thing is to, like you said, divide and conquer, destroy. And these people know the truth, and y'all know the truth, and they want justice. They want to see those 9 people that y'all got incarcerated released.
Yeah,
it would be none of this shit.
So
had I want to say the Cowboys, but you know this up north. You know what I'm saying? This sounds like some shit some outlaws would have did. Would have rolled through town and tore some shit up and you know and drug you on off in chains and did whatever to you. So yeah, I can't even say white America. I'm just gonna say like they say, like the move say, the system. The system needs repairing.
And we all need healing. And I'm like you say, we on the right path with it, man. And, you know, hearing that shit, it done blew my mind even more. And I know it's like, this is the United States we talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, you hear all the shit that happened down in Texas, but then, like you say, we all think that certain areas and certain people or your block is the only one going through shit. And it don't apply to you when something happens across the way. And then this shit gotta stop, man.
This shit everywhere we at.
I mean, how many times we gotta keep hearing, and we know what the narrative is, and it's like, I'm done, man.
Bruh,
I'm done for the night.
Everywhere we at.
Angry black man. I do you one better. How the fuck? Now, three quarters of motherfuckers just ain't gonna make it. That's where I'm at with it. There's only a third of us that's going to. 2/3 ain't.
Yeah, that's true. But
man,
at the same time, it's like this. It's like this.
That's how it's gonna go and shit, man.
It's like this. More people can make it than we ever can imagine. But the thing is, we gotta stop putting the carriage before the horse. We as black people, we gotta stop that shit. I guarantee you, I can walk in a room and know what I'm dealing with. We walking in rooms and we don't know what the fuck we dealing with. What I mean by that is we in the street marching, talking to people that don't have anything to do with what we talking about. We want to tear up buildings and they got nothing to do with what we got going on. We know who is the problem. The math don't lie. The math don't lie. If we point the arrows, we do the math, and we take care of the issues and the problems. We the people, we the black people, and that's it. And it's like everybody have the roadmap to this answer, but we too chicken shit. We want to put it off on the other black man. We want to act like we all right. Just like you say, you want to go in your AC, eat your sandwich, and look at another black man go through some shit and say, damn, I'm good over here.
It fucked up what happened over there, man.
If I walk through, motherfucker, we got to humble ourselves enough to feel for each and every black man we walk by and come across. If they don't feel it, we got to make them understand, hey, man, this is what it is. Your heart should be bleeding right. As happy as I am, I'm angry. But guess what? I'm still happy that I got a life. I'm still happy that I got my family. I'm happy that my life is good. Ain't nothing going on in my world that I should be worried about. But guess what? My kingship, my soul hurt like a motherfucker. But my life on this funk ass earth, I'm good. But my soul hurt. I'm angry than a motherfucker.
Because your people hurting.
A motherfucker.
Because your people hurting. As a whole.
Goddamn right.
I'm tired.
So that's what we got to get on code on.
Your people hurting as a whole and shit. And the way I feel about this shit, these motherfuckers throwing everything in our face, man. They throwing us. They throwing money in other people's faces that ain't even from this fucking country. They doing all types of shit because we vote these motherfuckers in, and then they give us their power.
We stop allowing this shit. We got control over everything we need to have control over. And just like you say, if all of us who are awakening and in light right now, I can't turn this shit off. I'm angry when I go to sleep. I'm angry when I wake the fuck up.
Man, when people
so
ready,
my soul hurt.
When people ready to make the ultimate sacrifice, holler at me.
Living experiences and shit. I know how to survive out this son of a bitch.
When people ready to make the ultimate sacrifice, holler at me, man.
Like everybody else, but guess what? We got to do this together, man.
That's what I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at, man. I ain't with all that lip wrestling, and I ain't with too many redundant meetings of the minds either, man. I'm like, whenever y'all niggas ready to like get it right one time and go to the extreme, man, make the ultimate sacrifice, holler at me.
And that's the thing. Every black man got to know where they stand when it comes to that kind of.
I'm tired, and hey, I'll be honest with you, bro.
It's like this. We got to admit to ourselves as a whole that we flawed. Period. We can't fluff it over with Jesus gonna come down here and save us and shit. we can't go to our hands in the air and wave our hands side to side and jump around, and all of a sudden you got ants and you dancing all over the fucking place. That shit ain't working.
Man, we got to save ourselves. We got to save ourselves.
That shit. I call it the crippled chicken wing, cause that's the dance that they do.
But guess what? We know we got people out. We got family members that think that way. We got people that are that way. That will not change no matter what. But guess what? We still have to know where we stand as a whole and still come together. And the ones that don't think like us and don't want to be like us, those are the ones we know that, okay, well, I know where you stand. I know where you at. So when we pushing, you can't eat the fruits of this labor.
Stay where you at.
And they won't.
Yeah, so that's where we at as a whole, okay? Well, as a whole, if we push the right way, it's gonna follow because they're gonna wait. Everybody's gonna. I'm not looking for other people that don't feel the way I feel to wake up. What I really, really am looking for is the ones who feel the way we feel, and you ain't saying shit. You ain't speaking up. You ain't making your voice heard. So we have to come together. We have to unite to know that we all on the same page.
This is the one thing that makes me feel good. This is the one thing that makes me keep going and shit.
Yeah.
It's not in our hands.
Yep.
It's in someone else's. So that always comforts me and shit. And plus, I know we win in the end. I just want to be around to see it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I just want to be here to see it because it's going to be well worth it.
Yeah, I don't want to hand this down to the next generation and then I pass on and don't get to see it, man. But we know that it's us that's got to save us. Like,
we're the sacrificial lamb, man. We got sacrificed. We're the sacrificial lamb.
And that's what ain't nobody did. Ain't nobody sacrificed yet. They done made some sacrifices.
And the thing is, it's like, and I'm going to end it on this note. The sacrifice we have to make is more simple than what our black ass make it out to be. We are very highly intelligent. We are very capable of doing. We have to get out of our own way. We got to get out of our own motherfucking way.
The coons.
It is.
Execution.
To
Execution.
be continued. To be continued. Coons of the day.
The raccoons out there. They, you know, they out there, man. They out there to get their own way, man.
That's crazy how history repeats itself, man, because even like today, like we witnessing with the Roe versus Wade and the, you know, people out there, enforcers raising their voice. Even back then when they targeted these people, man, they had the same mindset. Like once the city responded to hearing about these people having these public speaking parties where they was blasting out about the city officials and whatnot, these people chose to say, well, I'm gonna say, I can't even call them people, I'm just gonna say the city's response was to once again send in hundreds of heavily armed officers to forcibly remove men, women, and children from yet another move house in yet another West Philly neighborhood. Notably, some of the same officers who participated in the siege in 78, including one of the officers who had been charged in the beating of Delbert, Africa, also double-backed and participated in this armed response on Osage Avenue. So the ones that felt like, hey, they wanted to get some more, they licked back because of the police officer that got killed in the first shooting years earlier, volunteered to come back down and get down on these folks again.
On a podcast.
Yeah.
Look, my little man, look, he acts like, when y'all gonna wrap this up? He's like,
I see him. Hey, we about a paragraph away, Malachi, from wrapping it up, man. So I know you can't respond back to this right now, but I know you hear everything going on, little man. Yeah.
He was. Respond back. Tell him you was.
What's up, man?
You good?
Young boy, what's up, man?
Go ahead, King. What you saying now?
Yeah, man. So they sent all these people down there, man, in response to all of these, what they would probably label as disturbances or riots or whatever, right? It says by the next morning, the move house had been destroyed, and around 2 city blocks, parts of Osage Avenue and adjacent Pine Street had burned to the ground. But rather than treat it like a crime scene, city officials dispatched a huge crane to the site, which began scooping at the debris like so much trash and dumping it into large piles. It was not until that afternoon, after someone saw a human leg dangling from the jaws of the crane buckets, that an assistant medical examiner reported to the scene. There were remains of the dead, each using it. Well, let me see. Hold on. There were in the beginning at least 3 city agencies seemingly in charge of the remains of the dead, each using its own system to tag them. The bones were not properly photographed or stored, and needless to say, much of the other evidence that might have been gathered from the ashes was never collected. So pretty much they didn't even have the decency to sort through all of the rubble to gather these people up and to, I don't want to say dispose, but give them the proper send-off. They treated them like trash and just basically scooped them up with all the rest of this shit. And
it's crooked crazy.
If they hadn't have seen a leg dangling, then they would have never had no samples to come and get. And it just would have been like, okay, put it all in the landfill. So yeah, man.
And everybody wondering why this place is falling.
All right, we gotta, like you say, do like.
So a lot of evil seeds, man.
Yeah, so everything that's just doing is needed, but we definitely have to keep it going, keep it alive, keep it moving.
Yo, this shit really fucked y'all up and shit. Like, this shit I already knew. Like, this shit I've been grew up on and everything.
But my brain feel like,
It's like I said, it's a lot of shit in every state, but it's like, now is the time to really think about it heavily. You know, this is not something that, okay, we on this podcast, let's just pick a topic kind of shit. It's like we have to train ourselves to when we hear stuff like this, we have to take it, not your brain, your soul have to hear it. We have to.
To me, this is like a radio show with no commercials.
Yeah. And so we have to really understand what we're saying right here. You know, we have to really understand what we're talking about right here, which we do. But I want the people that's going to hear this to understand we're not just reading this shit just to be reading.
Yeah, this ain't no waste of time.
That's going to help us.
What I'm trying to get across
of how do we keep these motherfuckers from killing our black people off like they doing.
What I'm trying to get off, man. I'm giving y'all the playbook, basically. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving whomever may set eyes on this. I'm giving you the playbook that's been played over and over and over and over again. I'm giving you the reasons why the playbook has been activated. You know what I'm saying? Which 9 times out of 10 is normally due to jealousy, and the other portion is accountability. They don't want to be held accountable for what they are or have done, so they will go to the extreme to bomb your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Just as you saw me read for those that are still in doubt, like if you try to expose certain motherfuckers of power or what's going on that's of the other race, they do not like to be held accountable. That animal instinct will kick in and they will go to the extreme to shut your ass up. It's about holding on to what they stole, man. They know they wrong. They know they stole everything, man. The devil kill, steal, and destroy. They do that regularly, and they constantly do that shit around the clock every year to sustain and maintain through the biggest weapon mostly used, right, which is fear.
But let's just fear. Take it. See, that's the part right there that they brains get tight when you cram it all together. They brain get tight. They start to run. So we just need to unite so we can do exactly what we're doing. If they can't handle this, we can tell them. We can ask them, well, are you Baptist? Are you Catholic? Are you this way? Go to church and come back tomorrow.
Don't come over here. Don't come holler at me with all that colonialism. Don't come holler at me with that.
When we compress it like that, that's where the black man, we get scared. We don't know what they can feel that their soul is rumbling inside. They think that's fear, but that's really their soul trying to agree.
And they've been taught to suppress that feeling.
They've been taught to suppress that.
Don't let that out.
We got to pause it right there. And when you start talking like that, and they just got nervous. They feel that soul. They think they're scared or they don't want to hear it because they don't understand it. But that's their soul trying to tell you, you better listen to these black men.
You better wake up because it's the truth.
To come together.
Hey, I didn't come to this motherfucker. Yeah. I didn't come to this motherfucker to like play the role of a teacher. You know what I'm saying? I came here to wake y'all up to the plays. So y'all can see, you got to know where we came from in order to know where we're going, man. And then, like my man keeps saying over and over and over again, there has to be a fine line where we can all get together somehow, some way. So with that being said, Instagram, man, at the Born Again Believers MF. Instagram at the Born Again Believers MF. And the MF do stand for motherfucker, you dig?
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, on everything. With that being said, man, I think we all.
Like Alpha and Omega to me.
Yeah, we winding it down, man. This been a dope educational session, man. Huh?
I say you gotta it's Alpha and Omega and shit, beginning and end. You gotta know what the fuck happened in the beginning to know what the fuck is gonna happen in the end.
Man, even that, understand the name of the show.
There's a certain someone in the Revelation that comes with the tongue of a double-edged sword.
Damn. There you go.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
We'll be ready for that motherfucker. We'll be ready for that motherfucker. So, hey man, as always, man, let me give my man a salute. Both of y'all a salute, man. As always, man, you know what it is, man. It's always gonna be love over here, man. It's always gonna be a bunch of peace over here, man.
One
Hey,
love, baby, one love.
I hope y'all out there watching got something out of what popped off tonight, man. Understand, man. Ain't nobody up here trying to teach you motherfuckers or trying to belittle you motherfuckers. Motherfuckers is trying to awaken you to what has happened, what's still happening, and you motherfuckers need to figure out what the fuck we gonna do so this shit can stop happening. And that's all I'm saying. Hey, leave a message on our Instagram, man. Since you won't do it down at the bottom of this motherfucker, DM, man, at the Born Again Believers MF on Instagram. And that's that on that, man. It's always love. Always love. 100.